Hi, it's Rebecca. Today I want to talk to you about waking up. We're living in an amazing time. They're calling it the time of the Great Awakening. There's obviously something big happening on the planet, or we wouldn't be obsessed by wearing masks and talking about lockdowns and seeing it happen globally, where everything came to a screeching halt in the first time that probably anybody could even imagine. Um, it's a very different time that we're living in. And a lot of people are talking about the ones who have awakened and the ones who haven't. So I wanted to share with you some of my thoughts on waking up. I had this spiritual awakening, as I've talked about before, back in the 70s, when I went from my greatest fear coming upon me and just paralyzing me with fear to total freedom when I had a spontaneous healing. A woman that I went to became the catalyst for that healing because I believed that she was a healer, and because I wanted to be healed more than anything. I got it, and I woke up and I went to a different level of consciousness. And it made me realize that, yes, it's almost like a spell's cast on us. When we're born, we go through life, we take in all the programming that we get from everyone around us. Very few people are able to explain to us there's such a thing as waking up and awakening ourselves to a higher realm of consciousness. Really, it's because it's hard to explain. You almost have to just wait and see if you experience it. But you can, I think, certainly bring it upon yourself if you have a strong desire to wake up. Once you're kind of done with living in the three-dimensional world with the drama and the polarities and the highs and the lows, and you want to find inner peace, you start looking for ways to wake up. And you'll probably even set yourself up. That's what I did. I set myself up. My higher self, I think, knew that I needed a big knock on the head in order to really wake up. So I got a diagnosis of cancer. And being kind of a hypochondriac at that phase of my life and not liking the idea of any medical procedures at all, I just didn't like them. I didn't like the idea of surgery, pharmaceutical drugs. I didn't even want to have a tooth extracted. It just didn't sit well with me to do things like that to my body. So I was forced into a situation where I had to make a choice. I reached a crossroad. Which way will it be? Spiritual or material? I went spiritual, took the leap of faith. It worked. I woke up and I realized I'm much more than my physical body. My consciousness is in control of everything. And if I don't like what's happening in my physical body, it's just giving me an indication that I need to get more aligned with my higher self and that Christ consciousness, which is good. And that was one of the big revelations I had. I realized that if I focused on good, spiritual, uplifting principles, ideas, thoughts, teachings, I would be okay. But the minute I went down the other side and listened to negativity and fear and drama and all those other things, I would get stuck. So it gave me a way to break away from the old patterns, because it was so dramatic to all of a sudden be told you're going to die by the time you're 40 if you don't have surgery, to total freedom and a healing. So some of the other things that I experienced after this healing were I would be with people and I was much more intuitive. I could see through games they were playing or maybe lies they were telling. I could really see what they were more or less really thinking, as opposed to the way they were talking to me. Being a flight attendant, we have a lot of practice with people. That's just the nature of the job. You're constantly dealing with people. And when I would get into a situation that I felt was fearful. I've talked about this, like turbulence, fear of flying, being alone in a city that I didn't know. One time I was in Buenos Aires, walking around by myself, and I fell down flat on my face. It was a beautiful day, but I don't speak, what do they speak there? Spanish or Portuguese? I think they speak Portuguese. But anyway, I fell flat on my face. There were a lot of Argentines around. They helped me get up. They gave me some water. They were so nice. And I wasn't afraid. It turned out to be okay. I got back to the hotel all right. But, you know, things happen when you're traveling. And if you're not prepared, you can freak out. But if you're in the flow, you just expect things to work out. Being in the flow is the way to go because it gets rid of stress. You no longer have anxiety once you wake up because you're not battling with yourself. You're trusting that you're being guided, divinely guided by your higher self that knows exactly why you're here, what your purpose is, and you can just be in the moment. Be here now. The power of now. You know, Ram Dass wrote Be Here Now. Eckhart Tolle wrote The Power of Now. That's because being in the moment, being in the now is the best way to live because then you're at peace. You have to get to a place where wherever you are now is interesting. Doesn't matter what your environment is really because it's how you're perceiving it. If you have that inner peace, you can be just about anywhere and have an okay time. Or at least if it's not to your liking, you can close your eyes and meditate and have a good time. So there are always ways to be at peace with yourself. And people who wake up don't worry like other people. They're not freaked out over the news or viruses as much as other people. They're more at peace. And in this day and age, it's not a bad idea to wake up. So I would suggest if you are on the path to trying to wake up, find a teacher, find someone that can help you, someone that can explain to you or see what might be blocking you from waking up. Because a good teacher can see intuitively what it is that's keeping you from being totally at peace. Go to my app, Inner Power, and it's on Apple and it's in the Android store. And I have some meditations and I have some videos and you can look at those and see what you think. And I would love to hear from you. I'd even give you a free session if you want to get in touch with me. Talk to you soon.